emergency update for y'all. This is episode number 4. I just changed the name of the channel to Dr. Jeff Ross because the previous title was greatly overused, and I didn't really realize that until I started looking through YouTube. So, anyways, I just wanted to talk a little bit, right? This is the only slide I have, and then we're going to get into right away sharing my trading view screen. Everybody's panicking right now. Bitcoin is crashing. People are panicked. They're wondering what to do. What would I do in this situation? So I am going to tell you exactly what I'm doing, and hopefully that's okay with y'all. This won't be a very long live stream either. I didn't post this anywhere to tell anybody that I'm doing it. I just wanted to just go ahead and get started. So you guys can watch this whenever. It's February 25th, 8:34 Mountain Time. Okay, so I'm just going to go through 2 charts, Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. Let us look at the daily chart. I'll post the daily chart because I was posting the daily chart recently, as I mentioned on recent live streams. I posted on Mstr that this pennant was forming here. As you guys hopefully can see, let me make sure. Yep, it looks like I'm sharing that screen. Hopefully y'all can see this. That's tricky when there's no live chat because it's hard to see exactly what's going on. But okay, so here's the pennant, right? I said, and we were right about here, I believe. I think it was February 18th, where I said it looks like this pennant is forming. It looks like a pretty solid one. Volatility is contracting. This is usually what we see. This is actually like a perfect kind of technical setup right now for we are going to see volatility explode in some direction. Okay. And I also showed it, and I'll get it to the MicroStrategy chart as well. Um, it can go in either direction when this happens. And so what have we gotten? You'll see here with these Bollinger Bands, they're a little bit obscured, but let me make them a little bit bigger. Okay, so Bollinger Bands are starting to widen. We clearly have broken out to the downside, right? This is actually good to have a return of volatility, and I'll tell you why I think it's extra good and what I'm doing about it. The price of Bitcoin back here on Sunday, just a few days ago, Sunday the 23rd, looks like it closed at about 96,000. We're currently sitting $10,000 lower at 86,000. I think this is fantastic personally as a fund manager. Okay, so again, this is not individual investment advice, but here's what I'm looking at. These bars that I put in for you guys because I like you I have 2 different color vertical bars, right? These orange bars and these green bars. The orange bars are every time, if you look down here at the RSI, the relative strength index, which is just basically an oscillator talking about the strength of a movement. It helps you figure out when, it gives you a good idea when different assets can be overbought or oversold. So the orange lines were occasions, rare occasions over the last basically year and a half or so, year and a half, let's say, where the Bitcoin RSI was less than 35. You see these orange lines, okay? If you look at where these happen to be, you'll notice those orange lines are pretty good buying opportunities. The green lines, which are even a little more rare than the orange lines, but they often come in pairs, as you notice, they come in clusters. The green lines are when the RSI is actually below 30. That doesn't happen very often on the daily charts. But I wanted you to see that, okay? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the last year and a half where that happened, and today is one of those days. So back when it happened, way back on June 24th of 2024, the closing price of Bitcoin was 60,000. Here on July 4th of 2024, the closing price was 57,000. On July 5th, the closing price was 56,000. And then here on August 5th, if you guys remember August 5th, that was the the yen carry trade unwinding debacle, and everyone was just panicked and said this is going to start the next major financial collapse. There was bear porn everywhere. People were freaking out. Recessionistas were, high-fiving each other saying this is it, it's happening, we're going to collapse now. At that point, the closing price of Bitcoin was 54. For the record, these are the times where I buy. Okay, so I wait for these. I'm always using the system that I tell you guys about, which is usually what's happening is you add a little bit, you trim a little bit based on, kind of overbought, oversold levels. I like to be in positions for as long as possible. And I'll go to the 5-year chart to tell you how I usually do things. But when we get crazy days like today, I pull up the daily charts to look at this. Yesterday we had an RSI below 35. Today we have an RSI, as I'm recording this, it's sitting at 27.63. Could go lower, I don't know. I hope it does. But for me, if you guys look at the past and you're willing to, to trust the system a little bit, which I have learned to do. This is my system. I'm not giving you individual investment advice. This is just what I do. I love days like today. Everyone is panicking. I go on YouTube and the recessionistas are all high-fiving each other. They're all saying, here it is. This is the crash. We're going to die. I told you so. Buckle up. Buy puts. Buy protection. Go to cash. Gold might not even save you. What are we going to do? The recession has started. We're all going to die. I just don't agree with that. I've talked at length for the last couple of my other episodes. I've only done 3 episodes. My 3 episodes, I've talked about why I don't believe we're headed into a recession. In fact, I think February was sort of an anomalous month. We had a monthly bout of disinflation and a monthly weakening of GDP growth in the U.S. I think the next couple of months look pretty good. I think the bear market continues. I think we're going to see good economic growth. I think we'll see inflation. February CPI should dip. I think that's what the markets are telling us. March CPI should probably then rise again. Most people think of inflation as bad, and they should. It's debasement of your purchasing power, but it's generally good for risk assets when we have a bit of inflation acceleration. So not a lot of inflation, but a little bit of inflation acceleration is generally good for risk assets. So that's the daily chart. Let me go to the 5-year chart. So these are weekly bars now. And as I told you guys, I like to use the 50-week moving average. That's this orange line here. So again, we're still looking at Bitcoin. If people are listening to this and not watching, I have a chart, a 5-year chart of Bitcoin weekly with weekly bars. You'll see you still have the pennant, which has broken lower. The 50-week moving average is still sitting today at 74,921, the simple moving average. That's what I like to use. I think it will hold. I'm not concerned about it. I think this is a buying opportunity, and I'm, again, I'm not telling you what to do, but I am in my fund buying Bitcoin-related entities, and personally as well. And that's all I'll say about that. I'm going over to MicroStrategy now. I'll start with the 5-year MicroStrategy chart. The Bollinger Bands are crazy because it's so volatile, so I have to get rid of those. You'll see these same lines, and I'll get into the green and orange lines more when we move to the daily charts. But we had the exact same pattern on the 5-year. You'll notice that whenever you see these orange lines here and this green line, that historically the orange lines have been great places to load up again, right? They tend to mark bottoms. We're still easily above the 50-week moving average for MicroStrategy. The 50-week moving average is sitting at $220.51 as of today. The price is $251.79 as I'm doing this emergency briefing. Okay, so now I'm moving back over to the daily chart on MicroStrategy. And here, hang on a second here. Want to get, hey, a couple people actually showed up. James, love when Dr. Jeff, Dr. Jeff, I love days like this when price crashes. Maybe I'm a little sick in the head. I do too, James, and I think that's kind of the whole point of this video is I want people to have the appropriate reaction. So I used to be an investment advisor, and I hated days like today because days like today, my phone blew up. I got texts from my clients, emails from my clients, calls from my clients. Why is it crashing? What is happening? Are we all going to die? Is this it? Or is this, is this 2008, 2009 again? Is this the dot-com crash? Blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, always like, you guys, you got to chill out, just relax. Like these are great buying opportunities. Whenever you see a bright red candle in the Bitcoin space, I honestly, I hope the same thing happens to you as it does for me. That should trigger a contrarian response where you just want to smash the buy button. These are the days where you literally sell the chairs, and you look for any scraps of fiat currency that you can find to try to buy Bitcoin, because these moments don't come around very often. Buy Bitcoin, retire early, watching from the Philippines. Hello, good morning and good evening there. Thanks for watching, Nittany. Yeah, love seeing it too. So good, we're on the same page. You know what? I don't even have my, this is like criminal. I don't have my Zap stream up. Live stream. Just want to make sure I can hear you guys or see you guys writing. Okay. No questions over there on Zap stream. Let me go back to here. Okay, so I'm almost done, you guys. This is a short one, like I said. MicroStrategy, kind of the same picture. MicroStrategy, because it's levered long to Bitcoin, it tends to react even more violently, even more volatilely to what happens with the price of Bitcoin. I put the 200-day moving average here. I have these orange and green lines here as well. Let's see, I went all the way back. So yeah, going back like a year and a half. Again, orange lines were when the RSI dipped below, what did I do? Below 35, I believe. And the green lines are where it dipped. No, that's not right. What did I do for the orange lines? It's above 35, so it must be below like 36. I'm sorry, I don't even know what I did. I did this earlier. The orange lines are around 36 or less. The green lines are below 35. Okay, so as you can imagine, the green lines are the better opportunities. They're when assets have become not just oversold, but even more oversold. So they reach these orange lines where they look oversold. The green lines are where like, oh my gosh, it's still going down. It's even more oversold. They tend to be fantastic times to buy, right? The last time we had green lines, the price of MicroStrategy was kicking it at like 45, 49. Yeah, so basically $45 a share, and now it's sitting at $254. It got all the way up to like 543 back in November of 2024. So what do I have to say about it? These are the times where your resolve is tested, right? Where you're like, oh my gosh, am I doing the right thing? I see all these people saying that that we're gonna die and that you're crazy. And this is why, the normies hate Bitcoin, because it's so volatile. And I'm telling you that volatility is the price you pay for life-changing gains. And you can believe that or not. That's the way I run my hedge fund. It's how I counsel my clients. And I just say, look, we have to embrace volatility if you want to have life-changing gains. And you don't just embrace it, you take advantage of it. These are the days, I think, that you take advantage of it. I'm not giving you individual investment advice. I'm telling you what I do. In my fund, I'll just tell you, I bought more MicroStrategy today. I also bought MicroStrategy calls, out of the money calls. And I'm not going to tell you specifics on that, but they are cheap today. And I think that those calls add a lot of volatility to my fund, even more volatility than Bitcoin and MicroStrategy do. But they usually add volatility to the upside. And if you can time them properly and get lucky, you just, hey, and one last thing, by the way, just because all of these green lines look official and it looks like we're going to head higher doesn't mean that we are. Okay, so that's one other thing. I could be wrong. We might be headed for a crash. MicroStrategy might go, to zero, and Bitcoin might go to zero. But if you know me, you probably don't think that I believe that, because I don't believe that. I think it's a buying opportunity. I think that we're basically reaching peak bearishness right now. The fear is everywhere. It's palpable. People are panicking. That's why I'm doing this little emergency briefing. And you know what? I'm just going to end it there. Hopefully you guys get some value out of this, but I just like to give people courage, like as a coach, to you guys, to let you know what I do. I think this is a great opportunity to buy. I could be wrong, by the way. That's why I use trailing stop losses as well. But I don't think I'm wrong. And I hope you guys found some encouragement in this. And I will leave it at that. All right. God bless you guys. Hang in there, and I'll look forward to seeing you the next time. I don't know when it's going to be, but I felt inspired to do one today. Okay. Take care, everybody.